Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. I'm Michael Taylor, and you know it's Saturday, June 8th. You know why? I'm at the desk. That's where we start things on Saturdays, a little bit more laid back for everybody. We got a great show for you today, so let's get right to it. We have an author coming in. He is Dr. Stefan Sideroff, and he's written the 9 Pillars of Resilience. And it is a great book we're going to be talking to him about. And then later in the show, a brand new club. It's the Broadway Music Lovers Club. And Elisa Kaplan Center and Kate Barkley are going to be joining us to talk about why they brought this all together, why they decided we needed this club. And they're excited about it, so we're excited to talk to them about that too. Hey, we want to keep you informed, and we want to make sure you are getting involved in your community if you wish to do so. The 2024 elections are coming up for United and Third, and they are both looking for candidates. You can pick up the application during regular business hours over at the Community Center in the General Manager's office right here on El Toro Road. If you want to do that, the deadlines for submitting them are going to be in late June for United and July 3rd for Third, so make sure you do that. Are you enjoying the weekend so far? We got some nice weather for you, that's for sure. We're starting off most of the mornings with little clouds out there, but I got to tell you, the clouds are clearing out. We're getting some warm temperatures. Today's going to be probably our warmest of the week. 75 degrees is what we're looking for this weekend. And then Sunday, we start a little bit of a cool off, 72 and then 71 as the heat wave kind of breaks a little bit. We didn't get so much of the heat wave, but the Southwest, out in the desert areas, oh, they're enjoying some triple digits. So we're lucky to be where we are. I'll take June gloom over triple digits anytime. Okay, we got a sunrise and a sunset to show you, and this is Soco University. It's up on the grounds there. If you've never been to Soco University over in Aliso Viejo, it's beautiful. The campus is open. You can walk the grounds there. It overlooks Aliso Wood Canyon, and it is just a beautiful area. Sunrise this morning was 5:40. Sunset tonight, 8 p.m. If you'd like to send us a picture, any photo, a sunrise, sunset, pets, places you've been, whatever it might be, go ahead and email us, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and we will use it in our sunrise, sunset segment. Okay, we're going to be talking about resilience and how it can live to a healthier and longer life for you. Stay tuned.
Tickets are on sale now at the PAC for the California Club's entertainment event, Kenny Cetera's Chicago Experience, a tribute to the band Chicago. Saturday, August 3rd, 7:30 p.m. at the PAC. Kenny and his 7-piece band with a 3-horn section will produce the true sound of the original Chicago band. The evening will highlight all the best of Chicago with songs like 25 or 6 to 4, Hard to Say I'm Sorry, and If You Leave Me Now, and more. You don't want to miss this one.
Cirque du Soleil presents Kuza, an adrenaline rush of acrobatics and a zany kingdom of characters. Kuza opens June 8th under the Big Top at Laguna Hills Mall. Kuza thanks its official partner, Air Canada. Save up to 25% on bookings of 10 or more. Tickets on sale at cirquedusoleil.com.
And welcome back. We have a special guest in the studio, Dr. Stefan Sideroff. He's a psychologist and author of the very brand new book that just came out, The 9 Pillars of Resilience. Right. Thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So you're a long-time psychologist, and you've been working in this field for a long time. What prompted you to write this book?
We are living in a time of unbelievable amounts of stress in people's lives, complexity, more things happening, more things triggering our stress response. I wanted to create a model of resilience, a model of how to live optimally given all the stresses in our lives, with the goal of being as healthy as possible, as long as possible.
So why do you think so many people have so much trouble, and it can go over a lifetime, of just managing stress?
Well, one of the reasons is that stress is not just bad. In fact, many of us seek out stress because if you think about all the successes in your life, I guarantee almost all of them have been associated with stress.
Right, and when we look at athletes, they are the ones who can handle the stress when it's most important, kind of thing. These are our heroes, right?
Right. Athletes manage stress the successful ones manage stress very well, meaning they know how to keep it within the optimal range in which they perform at their best. Most of us, however, push that limit further out to where both performance and health start to drop off. And so my focus here with my 9 pillars of resilience is a comprehensive model of how to stay within that optimal range, that optimal window where you're performing at your best with stress.
Now, in terms of longevity, is stress a plus, a minus, or it depends on how you handle it in your life?
Yeah. Well, last year I hosted a summit on longevity. And one of the things that we talked about is how stress impacts all the hallmarks of aging. So all of the different factors that contribute to aging, stress has an impact on that. And so you want to be really good at balancing out the 2 branches of your nervous system, the stress branch and the recovery branch. And when you keep those in balance, you have the greatest opportunity for a long health span, meaning functioning at your best to the very end of your life.
So it can have a real impact on your health.
Tremendous impact, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the mindset for like greater resilience? That's the title is in the book. We want these pillars of resilience. What kind of a mindset does someone have to kind of approach in terms of building resilience?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And mental balance and mastery is one of my 9 pillars. And that means that you approach life from a perspective of a growth mindset. And what I mean by that is, if you notice a shortcoming in yourself, oh, I'm not able to do this very well. A growth mindset approaches it from, okay, what do I need to do to improve along that dimension versus feeling, oh, well, I'm just stuck with this shortcoming. A lot of people, they just assume, for example, if they're anxious, that they're just an anxious person and they can't change from that. But a growth mindset says, okay, what's causing that anxiety or depression or any other disability that you may have, and saying, let me learn how to get better along that line. And a growth mindset is one of the keys to being resilient.
Is it kind of a Stoics, Marcus Aurelius kind of approach you're taking in some ways, or are there other approaches you're taking?
Well, I will say that a key element here is acceptance.
There you go. That's a very Stoic kind of thing.
It's acceptance in particular of the things that you can't control, can't change. There's so many things in our lives in the world today that we don't have any control over, but we get upset about them.
Right.
And it could be on the global level, or it could be just with our friends. In fact, my friend doesn't respond the way I would like him or her to respond. Well, maybe that person never will. But if you get upset about it every time it happens, you're wasting your precious energy that could be sent into, healing your body, for example.
And that's one of those things we talk about in terms of longevity. If you're spending so much time in that space and that worry over things you can't control, that's not a good plan for a long life and a healthy life.
Exactly. I tell people that we have a certain amount of personal energy, right? And you don't want to waste it on anything that's not going to give you something back and in return, because that energy may be taken from, say, energy going to the kidney to purify our blood. So our bodies are always making choices where we send it. I like to say we either can be in defend and protect, that's the stress response, or heal and recover, which is the recovery branch. And if you want to have greater longevity and health span, you have to be putting yourself into that state of recovery as much as possible.
Okay, so for the people who are feeling overwhelmed by stress or they've lived a life like that, some of the steps are, like you say, just kind of figure out a way to get to that place. What are some of the basic things someone can start today that gets them on that path?
Well, I like to say that a lot of our direction of how we live our life is based on the lessons of our childhood. So one of the first things I suggest to people is start noticing how you talk to yourself. If you're super critical toward yourself, if you make a mistake and then you get your hard on yourself, you beat yourself up for
Right,
a
you
mistake.
idiot, you saw that self-talk. What are you doing, you moron kind of thing. It's a very negative space to be in.
Right. And so those are lessons that we learn in childhood, but now as an adult, you want to start paying attention. And I like to say that there's an optimal way to talk to yourself. And that's coming from a place of love, compassion, acceptance, support, care, and joy. So your audience, compare how you're talking to yourself with what I'm suggesting is the optimal way to talk to yourself. And if you pay attention and you start to say no to any criticism or negativity, you're going in the right direction. That's a first step. The other is find your islands of safety in your day and your life when you could say, I could let down my guard, I could relax. And then practice some form of relaxation. On my website, I have a free relaxation exercise people can get and download, and they can use that to practice. It's particularly helpful if someone has difficulty falling asleep.
Tell us that website real quick.
It's drstephensideroff.com.
Okay.
drstephensideroff.com.
Now, the things you're talking about, is that part of that mind-body connection that you talk about in the book?
Yes, so everything is mind-body, right? So, for example, a lot of people get stuck with emotional reactivity. You know, something little happens and we have this big explosion. Or we get very emotional over issues that we don't need to be. Those are signals that we're carrying emotional unfinished business, feelings that we haven't worked through, we haven't resolved. And so this is how the body affects the mind and the mind affects the body, because when we hold in a feeling, we don't just do it in our heads. Literally, our whole body has to hold those feelings in, and that interferes with the flow of energy that contributes to optimal functioning. So it's very important to notice feelings that haven't been addressed or dealt with and find some way to express and let go of them.
Okay. The book is called The 9 Pillars of Resilience. We didn't get to all the pillars. I would love to talk more. We'll maybe have you back on some other time. Dr. Stephen Sideroff, thank you so much for joining us.
And my pleasure. And the book
is out. It's on Amazon. It's on his website. Everywhere you can find books, you can find The 9 Pillars of Resilience by Dr. Stephen Sideroff. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
The King Living mid-year sale is on now. 5 decades of Australian furniture design, crafted for a lifetime of comfort. So why buy ordinary furniture when you can come home to King? Sale on now.
Welcome to Envision Eye Centers, conveniently located next to Laguna Woods. We offer cutting-edge technology that meets unsurpassed service.
You and your eyes are my priority. We will treat you with the utmost care and compassion.
Some might offer local exams, but they'll send you on a trek for surgery. Skip the unnecessary travel.
You can be confident that we will deliver the best outcome for your eyes.
Schedule your consultation today and see the world clearly. Call us or visit our website. No inconvenience, just expert care.
Welcome back to the program, and we have a brand new club to tell you it's about. It's the Broadway Music Lovers Club, and I want to welcome Elisa Kaplan Center and Kate Barkley to the program.
Hi.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
So I guess the obvious question is, how did you guys decide to start this club, and what was the process like?
Well, we met at an audition for Old Pros, and it turned out that we had a lot of friends in common. Elisa went to
the High School of Performing Arts, FAME, in New York City, and many of my friends who are also in show business like myself decided to go to
Emerson College, which is where I got my BFA in acting.
There you go.
So we met, we started talking, turned out we knew a lot of people. We love Broadway. We're both union actresses, so we've worked in that kind of thing, and turned out we live on the same street. So
just a few cul-de-sacs down, in walking distance to the Performing Arts Center and Trader Joe's.
Well, there you go. The two key elements of any community.
Exactly, yeah. And then I went to Boston University, and I studied mathematics and computer science because I needed to make a living doing something so I could be in show business at the same time. So we just, we started to walk together along the creek, and all we did was talk about Broadway and musicals and, things we've done, things we were in, things we've seen. And we went on our first trip together 2 years ago to New York, and all we did was see Broadway shows. So we were like, hey.
There's really nothing here about specifically Broadway shows. We have the Old Pros, and we have
the Old Pros
Theater
and the
Guild.
Theater Guild and those kinds of things.
Yeah, but they're really performance-based.
Right.
And we were like, people love theater that aren't performers. We wanted to have something where they could learn about it, so like a TED Talk or a Rhodes Scholar thing, and then some examples, so like a salon, singing, that kind of thing. And it's been amazing, the response that we have gotten, just because we didn't get approved until
just a few months ago.
And the process of that takes a little while, right?
And also, like, we did our marketing materials, and we did our application on the back of the flyer, and we've already gotten over 40 members, and we haven't even had our first meeting yet. People are calling, they're emailing, their passion, they're from the East Coast. Oh, wow, I love Broadway, or I've never been to New York, and I want to go. So we're working on a couple of interesting things. Our first meeting, which is on June 13th, Thursday at 5:30 in the dining room number 2 at
the PAC,
the Performing Arts Center, will focus on bringing in a Broadway film and television actress from New York.
Oh, wow.
She's going to perform. I'm a classically trained pianist. I'm going to accompany her. We've been practicing from New York, by FaceTime.
Oh, it's good to see you.
Yeah, she's going to sing a couple Broadway show tunes and then tell stories about all of her life experience with producers, writers, and directors. And then Kate and I will talk a little bit. We'll present who we are, and then we'll talk a little bit about the focus of the future meetings.
Oh, one of the things that we're
Here we
really...
go. Do I even need to be here? You guys just go. You guys are just bouncing off each other pretty well.
This is what happens all the time, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's 3 in the afternoon. How did that happen? Well, you can come. You don't have to be a performer, even though you are one.
There you go.
You don't have to be a singer, even though, I don't know, you might be one. But you can come and enjoy it. And the whole thing was, we're getting all these messages, and everyone asked, do I have to perform? Do I have to perform?
Right. That fear factor there.
The fear factor. We're like, no, you can actually just sit and watch.
And also, in our first meeting, we're going to do something a little bit different. There are going to be prizes they can win. We've got gift certificates to restaurants. We've got all kinds of things.
That's a fun tone early.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and you don't have to, live in the village. We can have a certain percentage of people that don't live in the village to come and partake in it. And, if anybody's interested, please reach out. And, we're available. You can text us at those phone numbers also.
Sure.
And we're just really excited because, everybody who's ever seen a Broadway show or even a movie of a show and love to enjoy what music does to them and what theater does, we're going to New York tomorrow. And we're actually going to see 4 Broadway shows, of which I think 3 are Tony nominated.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to review them. We're staying in Midtown. We're seeing some of our showbiz friends. And we're going to bring back that excitement and that love and that passion of Broadway.
Well, let me ask you that. Musical theater is probably the most popular form of theater. It's the top shows ever. If you have to name 5 Broadway shows, it'll be mostly musical theater.
Yeah.
What is it about musical theater that is just, it raises the level and it really gets so many people excited? Like you say, people who don't even want to perform, they want to be part of this.
Well, what's interesting is music is really a core thing, and erupts emotions and feelings that a lot of times, it sounds strange, but the vibrations from music vibrate within you, and that gets your emotions going. So people are just taken along the path.
It's so true.
It resonates in a way, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, I recently bought a piano, and it's smack in the middle of my living room and dining room. And I have to tell you that when I play piano, and Kate's there a lot, we have coffee together, we're rehearsing songs. Like just this morning, I was transposing a song. When I played those keys, and it came through me, I felt happy and joy and peace. And if I leave my screen door open, and somebody's walking by, they always pop their head in, especially if my neighbors don't know that I'm a musician. And, and I said, hey, come. It just brings so much joy, and it changes the pace of where you are in the moment when you hear a song.
Right. And you think of something like Phantom of the Opera, and the bounding music of that, and the feeling that it gets. I mean, you could read the lyrics to that, and you kind of go, okay, but then you hear it, and the music accompaniment, and it's another level of kind of enjoyment or meaning to it that just the words alone can't do.
Well, it also, music, and you can see this with movies, music tells you what you're feeling or what you're going to feel. It gives you a preempt of maybe what's coming up.
Right. It can be a fun kind of uplift, or it can be a very serious tone, or you like to think of the music in Psycho, just all horrible strings.
Jaws.
This is going to be terrible.
And like, a few of the shows that we're going to see this week, one of them is Alicia Keys' story of her life.
Oh, I saw that preview.
It's called Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, wow.
We're also going to see The Notebook. The Notebook was a beautiful book, and this musical is going to be amazing. It's actually, I understand, 3 different age groups of the couples in the book. Okay. So I'm so excited because seeing the written word and knowing that script writers and musical directors and all those pieces, those parts come together, and once that musical is out there and it's produced, and it's just the excitement. When you go into those theaters in New York, the seats are real tight, you're sitting close together, but you all know that you're going to have 3 hours of pure joy. And when you leave, you're just so happy.
Yeah.
Now, both of you are performers. What was it like for both of y'all? I'll ask you both answer the same question for me. Your first time performing in a musical. What was that like for you in terms of being a performer, not an audience member?
Let's see. The first time I performed in a musical, I was probably 9. 8.
You in your backyard, or was it?
No, it was at school. I was a dancer.
Okay.
I was a dancer, so I started there, and created my little persona. But performing as a performer in a musical, probably in high school, and it combined with my dance just ignited the passion of every time I hear music, I move. It makes me move, so that's neat. But I know Elisa started even earlier.
My mom is a Broadway television actress, and when I was 9, I auditioned for an off-Broadway musical called The Milligan Breakfast Show, and it was an industrial where you sang and danced and modeled all of the products. And there were some really famous people in the show, Cheetah Rivera, Ann Reinking, Tommy Tune. I was 9. And I got in it, and all we did for 6 weeks was rehearse morning till night, and we did the show for a month every morning. Call was 6 a.m. We had breakfast, we danced and sang till 9 a.m., took a bus and went to elementary school. So, but it was...
Bam!
Yeah, totally. But, so it was in my blood. And I just love music, and I went to conservatory, and I just studied all the different parts of the craft. And I'm feeling really lucky because I'm a dancer also, but the reason we're together is because we're creating this together. I can sit down and play a song, and she can sing it and move. And, we are so excited to bring that joy to everybody.
Well, if it's in your blood, as we wrap up, I want to make sure people know Thursday, June 13th at the Performing Arts Center, Clubhouse 3, Dining Room 2, 5:30. That will be the inaugural meeting of the Broadway Music Lovers Club. Elisa and Kate, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're watching ThisDay. We'll be right back.
Do you you suffer from low back pain? Hoag Orthopedic Institute is the #1 provider of orthopedic and spine care in Orange County. Our Back to You program is a unique, non-operative, evidence-based approach to treating low back pain. Our spine strengthening program combines physical therapy with education on pain and nutrition. Let Hoag Orthopedic Institute's Back to You program get you back to doing what you love. For more information, visit hoiexperts.com/spine or call 855-999-4641 to find a doctor.
At Motion Drip, we believe in proactive wellness. Our IV therapy is designed to give you the well-being you deserve. With increased vitamin absorption directly into your bloodstream, it will replenish your body with hydration and nutrients to support your body's functions, increase energy levels, slow signs of aging, improve muscle recovery, and boost stamina. We are located right outside of Gate 8 on Moulton Parkway. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your appointment today, as we will be your proactive partner in wellness.
And welcome back. I want to talk about the Saturday movie before we head out for the day, and it's a good one. This is really a great thriller. It's called A Simple Plan. It stars Bill Paxton and Billy Bob Thornton. It's brought to us by Providence Mission Hospital. It's going to be on 2 p.m. with the subtitles, 6 p.m. without the subtitles, and it's a thriller set in rural Minnesota. The story follows brothers Hank and Jacob Mitchell, who, along with Jacob's friend Lou, discover a crashed plane containing $4.4 million in cash. The three men and Hank's wife, Sarah, go to great lengths to keep the money secret, but begin to doubt each other's trusts, and that's where the real thriller kind of starts, resulting in lots of lies, deceit, and some murder. Oh my goodness, it's a great film. I was really excited when I first saw it in the theaters. It's a great film, and you will enjoy it too, on at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. today. Hey, we want to tell you about the India Club. They have a great event coming up. It's going to be their big dance party. It's the one they do every year, India Club Dance Party. They're going to have live music. It's going to be on June 12th next week, 5:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. over at Clubhouse 7. It's $27 for members, $37 for non-members. They're going to have some great food. They came on the show, talked about it. Going to be a great event, and you need to RSVP by tomorrow, June 9th. So make sure you do that. Go to their website for more details, indiaclublwv.com, and get that going. All right, let's take a look at our weather before we head out, and we got a great weekend for us. Today's going to be the warmest day of the weekend, and it's going to get a little bit cooler as we head into next week. The heat wave's breaking a little bit out here, but we didn't get much of it. Most of the inland areas did. We're going to be high of 75 today with this morning clouds that we get. That's our usual June gloom, and just depending on the burn off, how close we get to 75. Then 72, a little cooler, then 71, so a little cooler as we head into the week, but we got that usual morning clouds and then afternoon sunshine. That is our pattern for June, and that is our show for today. Okay, on Monday on the program, we're going to be talking to folks from Advanced Ear Care, Stuart Spencer, along with Laguna Woods History Center's Catherine Bryans and Gail Dixon. So join us for that program. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.
Hi, I'm John Bowser Bauman. You probably know me best as Bowser from Sha Na Na, but I'm also president of Social Security Works PAC. And you know, when I'm in Laguna Woods, I always watch Village Television. Grease for Peace.